Hi guys, this is video tutorial for NeutrinoParticles editor, and in this tutorial I will tell about Emitter guide feature. This feature was introduced in beta 5 version of the editor, and it intended to simplify creating of basic effects. It's called Emitter guide, not wizard, because you can not only create effects but also you can change them during development. So Emitter guide you can find in this window. It looks like a set of switches and buttons and value fields, and to create effects with Emitter guide you don't need to know how emitter scheme works at all. So with this guide you can create basic effect, and then if you want to you can extend it and make it more spectacular if you want so with emitter scheme. So in this tutorial I will show how to create several basic, very simple effects. You can see them in preview window. First one is shining gold in the chest, then pulsing acorns, unicorn breathing, glowing mushrooms, and clouds on the moon. So let's start, and I'm going to create new effect, new particle system. And first of all I will add background picture. This is just random picture from the internet. This is some slot casino game. So using it as a reference I can create effects and see how they look on top of this picture. So let's start from shining gold, and a little about Emitter guide. Emitter guide is divided to several sections like generation, start position, change in position, size, and so on. Each of these sections controls different aspects of particles life. In start position you can tune, you can set where particles are created. For this effect I want to use area to specify starting particles position. We have default circular area, we don't need it, and I will draw a new one inside the chest. Here we go. Next one is changing position. I don't want particles to change their position, so I set it to none. Now let's set texture for particles. Appearance properties, and you can set texture here. I prepared several textures for these effects. I will not tell you about how to create these textures, just how to use them inside the editor. And for this goal, for this effect, I want to use this texture with 4 sparkles. If I set it, For each particles, all I can see all 4 sparkles. So I need to tune texture grid to specify that our texture has several sub-images. Grid size is 4 per 1, and frame index I will set to random value from 0 to 4 for each particle. And so now we have different sub-image from this texture on different particles. Let's play with size now. So usually when you tune something, you probably need to play with the values, like change it and see what you will get. Now we have very large particles, and I want to set it to 20 size, or even to random value from 10 to 20. Okay, now I want to change particle size along their lives. I set in changing size multiplier and tune graph over particle life. And now I got smoothly appearing and disappearing particles. Now we're gonna reduce their lives to 1 second. Yeah, and increase amount of particles to 15 per second. Yeah. So it's done. To the second effect, it will be pulsing acorns. I will create a new emitter inside this effect and call it acorns, and rename previous emitter with gold to gold. Okay, for acorns I will use start position as path, but not long path, but only one point, because it's very convenient to use path to specify some point. Now I don't want particles to move, so changing position to none, 1 particle per second. Set the texture. For this effect I prepared outline texture, acorns outline. Change size a little, 60, no, not 60, 80, no, 85, and move it a little. Yep. In appearance properties, set material to addition, and now let's play with size multiplier during particles life. By default we have such graph for multiplier, but I want particles to grow, so I change the graph in such a way, And the last one is transparency. Transparency over particle life. Here I set fast growing of transparency and slow reducing. And we have such nice effect. And again, it is very simple and useful. It's a generic effect for any game, any such game like slots or casino game. So let's move on to the next effect. Unicorn breathing. New emitter. And again I use path for particles start position. Reduce amount of particles. Reduce their size. Now I'm going to specify starting velocity for particles. Now we have in changing position steady motion type of movement. I will use motion with forces because it can better simulate natural behavior of particles. I set start velocity to from path, and with path I will specify their starting velocity. When you use a path to specify velocity, velocity vector will be created relatively to 0 point. So on a random point chosen on the path, and the vector will be from 0 point to this randomly chosen point. So I change the path to direct particles bottom and to the left. Now I'm gonna change. We have one force influences on the particles, and this force moving looking down. I set it to -100 or -10 to have very small force to the up, and a resistance set to 2 to slow down the particles, and amount of particles to 20. Yeah, 20. And set texture to prepared smoke, white cloud texture. Yep. Now play with size, multiplier over particle life. Yeah, and rotation I'll set to random value. So all clouds, all particles are randomly rotated. Yep. Let's change reduce velocity a little. Okay, and now we need to make breathing periods, like breathe out and breathe in. In generation section we have constant periodic rate for particles. I will change this to over emitter time. So I will have a graph which I can use to specify rate for particles generation. I will set this to 20 in the start, then to the 0 for a couple of seconds, and also I need to loop this graph to the right, so it will be repeated till the end of the effect. So yeah, we have unicorns breathing, and also I will increase amount of particles a little. Yeah. And let's change their transparency to smoothly disappear in the end of their lives. Over particle life. Oop. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like breathing. Okay, let's move on. Okay, next one is glowing mushrooms. New emitter. And I will use path for start position again. And with path tool, I'm gonna create outline for mushrooms. Okay, so our particles are created on this path. Increase the rate. 10, no, 5. Okay, I don't want them to move at all. Set texture to this blue sphere, glowing sphere. And I'm gonna set material to addition mode. Okay, now let's play with transparency to make them to appear and disappear smoothly. And increase a little amount of particles. So, okay, so then we have glowing mushrooms. And the last one is clouds on the moon. It is very similar to previous effects, so I will make it fast. Moon path for starting position. Steady motion with fixed velocity to the right, 10 by x coordinate. Reduce amount of particles 2 per second. Increase their lives to 7 seconds. Nope, 6 seconds. Yeah. Now let's set the texture. I will use this black smoke texture. Okay. Now let's set size of particles. It is square size. I will set it to rectangle size to be able to set different width and height of each particle. So I'll set it to 70 by 30. Now let's play with transparency over particles life. So clouds appear and disappear smoothly, and biggest alpha value, biggest transparency is 0.4. So yeah, that's it. So we created several very basic effects just to show you how to use Emitter Guide. This tutorial is a brief overview of this feature. So thank you for your attention. Bye bye.